Trading SPY can be difficult. Many can see the enormous opportunity trading SPY, but struggle to capture it. Well, in this video, we break down a setup with Edge and SPY that can help improve your trading. Hi, I'm Mike Bellafiore, co-founder of S&B Capital, and we're a proprietary trading firm located in Midtown Manhattan. And I'm also the author of the trading classic, One Good Trade, and the Playbook. Go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos that we're producing for you in the trading community. Well, in this video, you're going to learn how to make an effective trade in SPY. You're also going to learn the two indicators to add when trading SPY that can make a huge difference. The importance of trading to your personal strengths, what excellent systematic trading looks like, how to use reading the tape skills for a better entry. And as always, the biggest reward for watching our videos is learning how to think through a trade like a pro. For those who want to see winning trades to add to their trading business, check out this video. If you want to learn 3 real-world setups that our traders use, including the simple setup that we teach all of our new traders, and the setup that turned one of our traders into a 7-figure big money earner, check out the free webinar that we're currently running. Just go ahead and click the link that should be appearing right now at the top right-hand corner of your screen. That's going to open up the free registration page in a new window. Don't worry, you're not going to lose this video. You can also visit tradingworkshop.com to register for this free, intensive, awesome workshop. You're going to learn more in a couple of hours from this trading workshop than from years of online education.
So this is an event-driven VWAP setup I took on SPY. So the big picture before this trade fundamentally was that after the FOMC meeting where Powell said that where Powell did not allude to more rate cuts, and after Trump's increased tariff announcement, the market sold off 6% in 4 trading days. And this increased volatility showed in the VIX, with it spiking to near $20 and put the entire market in play, which increases the probability of large moves being captured in the overall market. So here's a 30-minute look at the SPY prior to my trade. You can see that we're clearly downtrending on very heavy volume. What was interesting to me about this setup was that on the August 5th low, we put in just as much volume as we did during the 2 sell-offs. This, to me, could signal a sign for a bounce or a reversal. Also, the 30-minute RSI on that August 5th low was the lowest it had been since the 2018 Christmas Eve low. And lastly, SPY has been holding below this anchored VWAP from the Trump tariff announcement. And so a break and a hold above that anchored VWAP could also signal buyers regaining control.
So I like that. When something is overextended on our longer term charts and we're looking for a potential reversal, a puking action, an increase in volume, and a steep move to the downside, and or with a wick to the downside, can be that capitulation pattern that signals a bottom. So good job pointing that out.
Another check in favor that I noticed for this bounce trade was that there was a very unusual amount of call buying on the prior trading day in the SPY. It was over $2 million worth of call buying, which is very significant. There was also over a dozen 500,000 share dark pool prints filled on the prior trading day. And so this shows to me that big money could be behind this bounce. And this provides another check in favor ultimately for my bounce trade on the SPY.
Okay, so there are some traders that do look at unusual options activity to look for edge. It tends to be in stocks where there's rumors that things are going to get bought out. It tends to be on speculative plays. This overall, in of itself, is probably not something to lean on unless you get really good at these indicators for edge. But
Right.
in concert with other variables that do have edge, using this to give yourself more confidence, to trade it with bigger size, to have another check in your favor, as you are alluding to, about direction, is something worth looking at.
Yeah, I agree. This was something that I felt in itself was not enough to encourage, or in itself could not be traded without other information that I brought in before, the increased volume, the oversold readings. So yeah, I definitely agree. So the intraday fundamentals on this day were showing that we had elevated volume. Our vol was 1.2. We had a lot of upside momentum. SPY was trading 60% of an ATR above its previous close. And we also had a high likelihood of a trend day. We were holding above the pre-market range and the prior day's range. So these are two good signs that we could have SPY have a complete could have an uptrend day, which is what I'm looking for this trade.
Good. I really like how you're looking at whether or not this is outside of the PM range and outside of the prior day range to consider whether or not this is going to be a trend day. Very effective to be considering whether or not this is likely to be a trend day when trading SPY, or whether it's likely to be an inside day. That's a key component to doing well trading SPY.
So my trading plan for the setup was to look for a long if SPY holds above 288.80. That level is that anchored VWAP from tariff announcement, and it's also the prior day's high of day. And I also want to make sure that SPY meets my market stats criteria. I want elevated RVOL. I want VIX to be elevated to allow me to trade the SPY. I wanted to be holding outside of that pre-market range and prior day's range. And I also wanted to make an initial strong move that I could trade the pull-in for as confirmation for my trade. Specifically, what I saw was the morning break and retest of my intraday level setup. And so my rules for that setup are to first watch for that strong directional move that breaks my intraday level. I want to wait for price to hold above that level for at least one 5-minute bar, given that this is around 10:20 a.m. I want to see that level hold on the retest with increased volume and bid thickness on the tape. And once I see that, I want to enter a position as close to my level as possible.
I have a question for you. And this may seem to be off topic, but it's actually right on topic. Have you started to get a feel for the type of trader that you need to be to tap into your unique talents?
Yes, I definitely am developing an idea of my identity, I guess, as a trader, and I think I'm a trader who likes to see the strong move happen, and then I like to trade the pull-in for that strong move so that I can catch the backside. I also, I'm almost always trading stocks with high average volume, above 5 to 10 million shares, that are moving in this manner.
I think I want to point out something about your strengths that maybe you haven't figured out yet, or maybe you have and you just left it out of that answer. So I'll go over it. So I read a lot of these playbook trades. We do a lot of these playbook trades here. And what I'm seeing with your work right here is it stands out as particularly strong in one particular area. And I really like it. I really like the way you break down your trading plan. I feel like we're kind of cognitive brothers here in a way, because it's very systematic. I'm trained as a lawyer, so I like things to be very logical. You're trained as a programmer. Your background is engineering or programming?
Yep, that's correct.
Is it programming and engineering, or one or the other?
It's both.
Yeah.
The background in engineering and programming.
Yeah. Okay. And so, yeah, we're like cognitive brothers here. So this is really elite, systematic trading here. This is a very clear, clean, concise, rule-based way to look about a trade. And it wouldn't be the way everybody does it on the desk. So Shark needs to be more of a discretionary trader. Two of the traders that I work with outside of the firm are very rule-based, are very systematic. The best of them is incredibly systematic, an amazing trader. And he's another one of my cognitive brothers. But so if we were to do 100 playbook trades, this would be in the top at least 5% in terms of clarity of thought and rule-based trading and adherence to systems. So I'll point out to you that I'm seeing that as a clear strength of yours in the way that you're thinking through trades. And I would encourage you to do more trades, to do more playbook trades like this and really tap into this exceptional differentiator that's going to help you find edge.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely agree. I find myself needing to be systematic oftentimes with my trades. Otherwise, I easily deviate from my plans and trade poorly. So I definitely agree. That's 100% my style.
Look, and there are other really top traders that we work with that are the same. And it's okay to say, I need to be systematic. That's not a weakness. That is a recognition of your strengths. And so you want to make sure that before you're starting each day, you're understanding what you need to do to trade at your best, just as importantly as what you're going to trade. So let's tap into that talent.
With my setup, what I first saw was the very first thing I saw was my strong move, my $2.50 move off of yesterday's close that started in the pre-market. And so that signaled to me that SPY had enough upside momentum to take my trade. Next, SPY broke above my 290.50 R1 level with a full 5-minute bar. And on the pullback to that level, we had very large bids step up. They heavily outweighed the asks at R1, and they were able to absorb what looked like selling into the level. And no matter how hard the sellers pushed, those bids would not budge. And so that's where I entered my 2 tiers of risk for the trade. And so on the next slide, I can go into exactly what I was looking at on the tape when that occurred. So here's where SPY is pulling into my 290.50 level. This is the first touch of the level, and you can see we have these red prints being filled at the bid as we come into my level, indicating that there could be selling into my level. But then if you look at the bids, you can see that the bids get very massive on this touch and absorb that selling pressure. And it looked to me that these bids would not budge. No matter what orders came in, price would not drop below that this .50 level or lower than that .45 wick that we just saw. That to me is my see it moment. That's where I enter my 2 tiers of risk, because the tape tells me that 290.50 is going to hold on this retest, and it's not going to fail and drop out and stop me out of my position.
Okay, good. And so, and your stops are below that 45-cent area?
My stop is below the breaking bar low. So the initial candle that broke above 290.50, I placed my stop below that low because I don't know how low this initial reaction that got to .45 can go, but I know that with a break and retest of a level, it's generally safe to put that stop below that breaking bar.
Okay, good. All right, let's see what else you got with the trade. So good, I mean, good use of, I like the idea of you focusing on a see it moment as well. You incorporating that into your trade. We see the best trading from the best traders when they're being very aggressive after they see it. They're waiting, they're waiting, they're waiting. They're waiting for a particular setup that they like. They're looking for a product or stock that can really move and has a catalyst in it, which you identify. They're looking for longer term technicals that are spot on. They're looking for intraday technicals that are spot on and in the direction of the trade they want to take. And then, they're overlaying, they're reading the tape skills. They're overlaying the moment where they can see it, where they see the stock stop going down. They see the pull in, they see the area to risk off of, and they're going to get super aggressive. If you can see that moment when the trade is likely to work, if you can see that moment when the trade should work from here right now, right away, you can get so big and be so aggressive. And that's what we see with elite traders. That's how they can get so big. They have an exact area which is most important to them. They have an exact moment from which they think the trade can work. And so, they're just super aggressive. And they're super aggressive because they're seeing it. So good, what else we got?
So from there, it was all about managing the position. I didn't have any overhead levels until 293, and so I wanted to hold until price reached 293 unless I saw a big selling come in prior to that. And I ended up seeing some big selling at 292.50 on the tape. There was a very large sell brick that was thrown at 292.50 once 292.50 was broken. And so what that means is there was just a huge number of bid prints that were very large in size, and it felt like they were using 292.50 for liquidity for that sell. That was a change in character of the tape to me, and so I took off 25% of my position, even though it wasn't at my level, to lock in profit and cover my risk. Then SPY made its way to my 293.05 R2 level, and that selling continued and increased in magnitude once we got to that level. And so I took off 50% of my original position upon that reaction with R2, and I placed my stop for the remaining position below that consolidation under R2. And shortly after, I was taken out by that stop, and that was it for the trade.
Okay, thanks. I want you to think about adding two important indicators that you didn't add to your SPY trading. Do you know what they are?
I'm going to guess maybe the tick and the AD line.
Good. And so how come tick and ADD are not in this playbook trade?
To be quite honest, I haven't worked with those indicators enough, and I'm just not comfortable enough with them yet. But those are definitely two areas that I want to be exploring with my SPY trading in the future.
Okay, good. So look, with this trade, go back and take a look at tick and go back and look at ADD and start to incorporate that in your review process. Hey, what was tick doing? Hey, did tick give me some information that I can use? Hey, well, what is ADD doing? Is it giving me some information that I can use? And get into the habit of looking at that and using that as another couple of variables, another couple of checks in your favor, potentially to help you make more confident trades. I would almost take it. I'd almost take it a step further that to be a good SPY trader, those are two indicators you really want to be looking at. Hey, go ahead and click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of the videos they're producing for you in the trading community. And please take the time to add your feedback in the comments section for what videos you'd like for us to produce next and what you found helpful from this video. From all of us at SMB, train and trade well.